Do you need to get personal with your purchase offer? Welcome back, Bill Jones, Remax Unlimited Results Realty, and we're making sense of real estate. And this week we're talking about how to win multiple offers. So, do you need to get personal? What does that mean? So, we've talked about some of the dollar amounts and things like that you might need to do to possibly win your multiple offers situation. It is a seller's market. It's very aggressive. You got to think a little outside the box to be a buyer right now. So, find out what's important to the seller. I think that's number one there. Most time, utilize your buyer's agent. Hopefully, you got a good one you're working with. They can a lot of times can talk to the seller or talk to the seller's agent, find out what's important. It's not always just the dollar amount. Obviously that works a lot of the times. The seller's looking to net the highest dollar, but there's other things involved. Best example is probably possession after closing. We're a little outside of the norm in here, Northwest Ohio. A lot of times after closing, the seller is sometimes allowed to stay in the property for a week, 2 weeks, a month, several months, depending upon the circumstances. That might be something that's vitally important to the seller in their situation. Maybe their next home isn't ready. Maybe they're not ready to move yet. Maybe there's something with the family. You never know. So it might not just be the dollar amount. We've had offers over the years that sellers agreed to take less money simply because of a possession time frame. The buyer had allowed them another month, 2 months, something like that to stay in the property. There's a lot to that. You got to make sure that you get your bases covered with that, but sometimes that does help tremendously. Other things, just simple items, furnitures, lawnmowers, buying other items, things like that in a property. Sometimes that helps make the deal a little bit better. So again, you get a little deep in the weeds with that, but there's a lot of different things you can do other than just the purchase price of the home. So after you find out what's important first, I think you do that. Obviously, you want to position your offer to be as aggressive as possible, especially with the market being what it is. Here's one that's another outside of the box is, sometimes the seller will ask for earnest money. One step above that would be a non-refundable deposit. Again, make sure you know what you're doing with that. You still want to get your inspections out of the way, appraisal and things like that. But we talked slightly yesterday, too, about maybe covering the difference between appraisal price and the purchase price. That's one option. And then you can also do possibly a non-refundable deposit. But it gets a little tricky there, but it would be one nice sweetener to a seller, knowing there's going to be some, possible, compensation, I guess, the lack of a better word, just if the deal would happen to fall apart or something like that. Again, not real common around here, but it does happen, and it could put your offer right above the next offer then. And here's one that's, I kind of love it. It can be fraught with a little bit of danger, but doing a love letter. What's a love letter mean? Simply putting a letter together to the seller if the situation's right to say, hey, look, we're going to love your home. I'm going to love your home. My family will love your home. You just got to be careful how you word that stuff. And, just so that they can see that you're going to appreciate the home. Sometimes a home seller's been there for years, decades even, and they want to know that the home buyer is going to continue to take care of the home in the loving fashion that they have. So love letter with a great picture of of the family, of yourself, you and the dog, whoever the case may be, whoever's buying the home is fantastic and can go a long way. So think a little outside the box. It's not always a dollar. Sometimes you need to get a little personal. So we're going to keep making sense of real estate. If you got any questions, make sure to get them to us there. We're going to do a live Q&A this Friday on how to win the multiple offers situation. So if you know of anybody that uses this information, you'd find it helpful, push it out there, help us get the word out, and we'll keep making sense of real estate. So till tomorrow, we'll talk to you soon.